Okay, some context before the video starts. I thought that Jurassic World was an okay movie at best, and I feel like almost all of the conflict was incredibly contrived and it really took me out of the experience. Most of the movie could be summed up to our MCs getting chased by dinosaurs and then randomly getting saved by another dinosaur. Not the best formula, in my opinion. But besides that, I want to tell the story of why the movie was almost completely ruined for me. Some background first. Personally, I love mindless action movies. It's pretty hard for me not to enjoy a movie like this unless there is some colossal mess up in the film. The movie wasn't ruined for me because of bad acting or a boring story. No, it was ruined for me because of an annoying ass woman. For this particular movie experience, I decided to pre-buy some luxury seats. It's a little more expensive, but absolutely worth the extra money because it's like sitting on a cloud surrounded by the Wendy's 4 for 4. I live in a small town, so I had to buy the tickets to a theater in a town 25 minutes away. I've never really minded having to drive that far because I love movies so much and I'm usually not spending money of much of anything else. Me and my friend drive out there and we're super excited to see the movie. We pull up to the theater, scan my tickets, and get in. We showed up just before the trailer started, though, so you know that theater was absolutely packed besides our pre bought seats. I walk over to our seats and meet our main antagonist, an elderly woman. She was in my seat, and when I got there, I immediately asked her to scoot over, like any normal person would do in that situation. She then got really defensive and said some stuff about her being in the right seat and proceeded to show me her ticket. I told her that she was misinformed, but she was not buying it. She was driving a hard bargain. She would not settle for anything less than the large fry, even though she knows she didn't order the meal. Anyways, my friend, who was more compassionate than me, was able to convince her to move over after slight negotiations. So I sat down in the seat next to her, completely ready to watch this movie. She was on my left, and she was on the end of the aisle. I reclined my chair and was finally getting relaxed. This is when phase two happened. This woman would not stop murmuring to herself about the trailers that were playing. I swear I was on an ESPN highlight clip getting the action recap on the play that was taking place on the field right in front of me. God knows without her help, I wouldn't have been able to decipher the cryptic Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer. She did this for all of the trailers that played and talked for 70% of each trailer to herself. But I decided to give her the benefit of the doubt, though, because I thought maybe she would act differently during the actual film. Foreshadowing real quick, she doesn't act any differently. The film starts rolling, and this woman is absolutely giddy at the sight of the big Jurassic World emblem. I mean, she's just absolutely pumped. If this movie was Donald Trump, she'd be Paul Ryan. Just ecstatic. I remember that she did initially calm down for the beginning of the movie, but as soon as I put my guard down, I got surprise suplexed by her again. A couple of dinosaurs came on screen, and she murmured to herself the type of dinosaur that it was. The common theme here for the rest of the movie is that she would do this naming of the dinosaurs thing. If I didn't know any better, I would have sworn she was a goddamn paleontologist from the sheer amount of dinosaur knowledge. Anytime any dinosaur got screen time in this film, repeat or not, she made sure to say the species name out loud so that I could hear it. So at this point, I was getting a little peeved that the world's worst curator would not shut up about anything. She murmured and explained every little scene to herself, and I was sick of it. Anytime she would start talking at this point, I would just turn over and stare at her. She looked at me a couple of times and smiled, so I knew I had to take a different approach because she did not know what I was trying to do. My baby-faced 19-year-old self, who looks like I belong on the Blues Clues, wasn't intimidating enough with a stare. So I straight up started glaring at her, but she was still oblivious. An atomic bomb could have gone off that theater, and she would not have been able to read the situation. This woman was absolutely buck wild. She straight up started sobbing at the Brachiosaurus scene, 3 inches away from a breakdown over a CGI dinosaur that was dying on screen. The tears by all of the Naruto fans combined wouldn't have been able to amass to what she was doing. And then she flips a straight 180 after this scene and loses her mind. She starts maniacally laughing at everyone's death in this silent theater and basically cheered on the dinosaurs to murder everyone. This went on to the end of the film until the very last scene where the dinosaurs had taken over the planet. The last thing I remember her saying was, "It really is a Jurassic World now," and giggling to herself like she was a messiah and said the smartest thing in existence. As soon as those credits rolled, she yeeted out of there, and I have never seen her since. I went back to the car with my friend, and she told me that she felt bad that I had to sit by that woman all movie, considering that my friend could hear everything the woman was saying. I barely remember the movie because all I can think about is how that stranger straight up just did me dirty that entire film. I paid $21 for a movie I can't even remember.